Part 2 of the episode on COVID causes and cures.
Basically, very soon, Taco Bell is going to make your meat, your vegetables, everything in the lab. And they're not going to make anything because of the climate change, etc. They're not going to, anybody is going to see it anymore in the near future, through meat or through vegetable anymore. Everything would be in the lab, would be grown. So I would like advise everybody, or even if you can play it next week or next time when you have program, Jane, please play that for...
Watch the 12 Monkeys?
We are living in 12 monkeys, yes. And it's on the YouTube, and it's by Truth Stream Radio.
So the name of it is We Are Living in 12 Monkeys.
Exactly. Yes, Don, my friend. Yes, sir.
All right. Because all of this talk of the president today, he sounded like he had almost was losing the fight. We might as well just all go back to socializing, get it over with, have our 150 to 200,000 deaths, and then get on with it. I mean, John, what you're saying is immutable. The Chinese are not our friends. I've said it often in the show. I don't believe, and I have to go to I'll just say, the society, the privileged, whatever you want to call it. They forced our hand, if you will, in economics, global economics, by buying Japanese cars because they wanted stuff cheap. And then we went to TVs. Now we don't make any TVs or radios in America. And then they went to games, and they went to clothing. We hardly make any clothing in America. And that was because the privileged class and its cheap mentality, as you mentioned in the showed on the email, you said, has everybody buying everything from China. And we've been doing it for decades. And then all of a sudden, people want to get against China. That's hypocritical, and the privileged, we need to change our paradigms. And then that means a new culture has to come in, take its place, and make sure that we have a sensible, civil society.
Can I read something quick? Because I got a report from the World Health Organization that I decided not to read, but this is from the New York Times, a different article. Chinese leader Jinping pledged to send more medical experts to Italy this week on the same day Beijing sent 2,000 rapid diagnostic tests to the Philippines. Serbian president pleaded for assistance not from his neighbors in Europe, which restricted the export of medical equipment, but from China. European solidarity does not exist, the Serbian leader Alexander Vučić said when he announced the state of emergency in televised remark. It's a fairy tale on paper. I believe my brother and friend Jinping, and I believe the Chinese will help. Only a few weeks ago, China was overwhelmed by the coronavirus epidemic that began in Wuhan, accepting donations of masks and other medical supplies. Now, with new daily cases at home dwindling into single digits, China is mounting a diplomatic offensive to help the rest of the world. From Japan to Iraq and Spain to Peru, it has provided humanitarian assistance and donations or medical expertise. Believe it or not, that's what it says.
Believe it or not. China. Can I say something?
China just got right ahead, Singapore Mike.
Okay, thank you very much, John, my friend. China, right now, they put their guards down, kind of they open a lot of things in China, and now not only they're hitting with the second wave of the coronavirus, and plus hantavirus too. Hantavirus also is seen in China as well. So they're toasted one way or another. So this is the devil virus. You cannot, if you catch it, you heal up, you get positive again, and then you go to phase 2. Phase 2, if you survive, then you retest it again after a couple of weeks, you'll be positive again. So you go phase 3, and it has multiple phases, and up to now, one radio station was listening here in Asia, they said actually it has been mutated 800 times so far. So if it's true, we know 40 times, it was 3 days ago, Iceland scientists said that it has been mutated 40 times. But I don't know about 800 times. So, but if it is true, for example, even 100 times right now, that's a lot, means there is no escape from it. Everybody at one point will be catching it sooner or than later, and then it has to go phase 1, phase 2. It's a mess. Go ahead, please.
That's why I believe.
I want to remind everybody that nobody on this show has all the answers. We're all just trying to explore the situation and what we can do about it.
And that's why I believe the doctor who came on, I believe that he was a doctor and actually do this. I think he was fearful of his life. I believe all that he was saying. So he had no reason to come on with, lies.
Well, that was a long time ago already, Don.
It was about a month.
Of course he was fearful because it was the unknown. And as we explained in our scientific videos, I played that it attacks the crown-looking virus attacks to a receptor in our cells, and then it attaches itself and it can mutate.
Yeah, and it's the mutation part of it that I found credible, because all viruses, they do clone themselves and then they split. But a virus that can mutate on whim supports Mike's theory, or Mike, where he heard it from, the theory he heard it from, that this thing can mutate on the spot. So 800 times is nothing for a single cell, that I believe that single cell virus can mutate. That's incredible.
It is, and also we have to keep in mind that, we can talk about phase 2 with how long are we all going to be stuck at our houses too, and except for essential workers like John and me.
I'm working
this
every
is starting
day.
to affect my psyche.
There's no change in schedule for me. Someone has to work. We cannot spend the rest of our lives in a room locked away. Someone is always working, whether you think so or not. Someone has to work and feed us. We can't go on a fast for...
Well, it is affecting people with kids, though, John. Parents who can't work because their kids are at home, and then teachers sending them online lessons, and they have to teach the kids, and some of the families don't have any income.
Let me throw some science again. This doesn't transmit unless you touch your eyes, your mouth, or your nose. So you can go to work, you can go to school, you can do whatever you need to do. Keep your 6 feet away and stop touching your face. If someone's sick, stay home. Whereas we can function. And not only that, 99% of you will not die from this. It's 99%. It's someone over 50 with multiple previous conditions. This is science we're talking. This is not conspiracy.
But everybody,
so the rest of you guys can work under 50. Just don't touch your face if you need to wear a mask, wear a mask. Clean your hands between, bumping into strangers. But here's the bigger point. China did not like tariffs. China did not like Donald Trump. China did not like Donald Trump trying to get other countries to buy outside of China or to bring back manufacturing. This is fact. They hate that. He's the only one that doesn't. What have they been told? Wait for Biden. Get Biden. How come? Hunter and Joe did billion-dollar deals. Dianne Feinstein, billion-dollar deals with Richard Blum, her husband. That's what they want. How do you stop Trump? Stop his rallies. Oh, people can't meet. Get mail-in ballots so you can manipulate the vote. Economy. Oh, he can't brag about that. What about the Wall Street? Can't brag about that. What about unemployment?
I do think the problem's bigger than partisan politics, though. Because I don't think China's purposely trying to recalibrate the power struggles of the world. That's just my opinion. We do have a guest caller.
But the thing is,
we have a guest caller from the 585.
You're missing the point, guys. This is a
wait, Don, wait.
This is a boon for families. Families are loving it. Go down, economy.
Okay, good. Hey, who's this from the 585? We have 5 co-hosts on Political Gravity. May I ask who I'm speaking with?
Yes, my name is Toole. I'm from upstate New York. I just wanted to jump in here and say, I've been hearing so much mass hysteria about this whole virus thing. It's a serious virus, but not at the level the media is making it out to be. Come on, let's be for real. I mean, 40,000 people have died now in about 4 months compared to the 750,000 people that have died from the last flu virus that we had. What was that, H1N1? Come on, this is ridiculous. And now they didn't lock everybody up in the house back then. But why are they doing it now? The thing that I'm scared of is not the fact that the virus is out there. It's that the whole planet is on lockdown. They got the whole planet, not the whole city or the whole country, the whole planet. Every country is in lockdown. They have that much control now. You think they're going to surrender it? And just imagine just remember what 9/11 did after it happened here in the United States, September 11th. Now imagine what's going to happen after the coronavirus goes away. And once temperature hits 80 degrees, it's going to go away, just like the flu. Now imagine the regulations that are going to come. How much
47 degrees is the perfect. Yeah, the question is I don't think any of us can predict what's going to happen, but you're right about the control factor. Would anyone like to comment? Mike or John or Don?
The man is right.
Actually, the symptoms.
Just force everyone to vaccinate and put the poison in your body. Next person.
Now that's what'll happen.
Yes,
I think it is
it's
a moral test on some level. Like, how are we faring under this crisis, and how long can we endure?
Yes. Viruses, you cannot have a vaccine for it, especially this kind of devil virus that is keep mutating and keep being stronger and stronger. And symptoms of COVID-19 reported by emergency room physician are dry cough. Symptoms of zinc deficiency is chronic cough. And then nausea with or without vomiting for COVID-19, nausea for zinc deficiency. Fever is for both of them. Back pain, kidney, question mark. For the COVID-19 and chronic pain, low back and neck, it's for zinc deficiency. Abdominal discomfort, abdominal cramping. Diarrhea, loose stool. Loss of smell, altered loss of taste or smell. And some other closeness of these two are pneumonia, fluid filled with lung. The other one is just pneumonia. If you have zinc deficiency in your system, especially men and women, both same. Inflammatory cytokine. And the other one, zinc deficiency is inflammation, and elevated C-reactive protein and increased C-reactive protein is for zinc deficiency. So if we look at it very well, that's why in many instances they're using vitamin C and zinc to overcome high dosage of vitamin C and zinc to overcome this disease. So some of the people may not even have COVID-19, but because the zinc deficiency, the symptoms are very similar. Go ahead, any of you, please.
Can I jump in here real quick? I'm sorry. Can I jump in here real quick about the zinc? So, the reason why zinc is so important is it gets into the cytoplasm and it stops the replication of COVID-19. You get one one virus of COVID-19 into your body and it replicates in the amino acids and it builds up within the protein. Now, zinc blocks that. Now, the problem with people with not strong immunity is their body does not allow zinc to enter in the cytoplasm. So that's why chloroquine is being used on these patients that don't have a strong immune system. The chloroquine opens up the gateways to allow zinc to enter into the cytoplasm to stop the replication of it. And it just basically goes down to this. If your body is not healthy, you are not going to deal with this. But the problem is the majority of us are healthy. We are healthy. It's just, I don't understand. That's my point. I'm sorry. I just think that this is
okay. You're doing good.
Proportion. Yeah,
You're from the Rochester area?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so they're saying it's a combination of zinc, inordinate amounts of zinc and vitamin C are the homeopathic methods of maybe not getting it, but being healthy through it.
And zinc is in almost everything we eat, by the way. It's in a lot of seafoods and in a lot of meats and fats, good healthy fats like nuts and avocados and stuff. So we're abundant in zinc, but if your body's not digesting it properly and your immune system is not digesting it properly, you're not absorbing the zinc properly.
Exactly. That's absolutely right. And that's why for people with prostate, instead of they giving them lots of other medication to lower it down, their prostate, so they can urinate better, for the males only. So therefore they get vitamin C and zinc together every day. For 2 weeks actually, they take it 2 times a day of vitamin C with zinc twice, and after 2 weeks. They lower it down to once a week, and the person with symptoms of prostate is healthy. It has no problem. It doesn't need to take any crap medications. Go ahead, please.
Well, that's why
Singapore,
I take
Michael,
10,000.
what's going on in your country?
Yes, indeed. As I said, we have low
amount of infection?
Low dosage of low COVID infection because we have masks and we have gloves. Although we are at home, that's we work from home right now, but still we are good. When we go out, we come back. We feel that we need to stay much more in the home, but you need to go get your groceries and etc. So that gives us a little bit of walk and etc. So we get to be healthy again. Because if we stay home 24 hours and we do nothing, your blood sugar will go spike suddenly, and you put any amount of diabetic medications, it will still go high because you don't have activity. Inactivity kills people. Go ahead, my dear brothers, sisters, go ahead.
Sure. Anyone can go.
Can I ask that? It sounds like a doctor. Can I ask if sugar could be a main cause for the virus being so powerful? I mean, I know that Italians eat a lot of carbohydrates. The same with Chinese people, and of course the United States. Do you think that sugar could be one of the main causes for this virus to spread so quickly within the human body?
I don't think so, because it's a protein-based virus. It's mutated based on infiltration from the bats into the host animal into the humans. Now, I don't think sugar is a factor. Does anyone else have an opinion?
Of course,
John?
People, in North America, we know many places, when people are not able to walk or stay home, and they keep getting their belly fatter and fatter, or those people, of course, indeed, their immune system is below the normal. So they are the ones, for sure, the first line of people who are getting it. But again, follow up the procedures, mask and gloves. Those things will help too. But again, inactivity kills anybody.
Sugar is a secondary problem because it causes inflammation. Half of these problems that people are dying from because of the lack of health, if you will, is because of inflammation. Sugar is it's probably the number one cause of inflammation in people. So this virus gets a chance to get into their system and wreak havoc or, even kill. So sugar and carbohydrates do play a tremendous part, apparently, in this pandemic, because it is.
Well, I agree with that, Don, but I'm not a doctor, and I didn't have a way to explain it.
That's fine. The sugar does apparently is a secondary problem or factor in the intensity of this virus.
But mainly, it's a respiratory illness caused by inflammation of the lungs, because what's happening is that with all those virus elements that's in your body, it causes your lungs to inflame and acute respiratory syndrome. So people who are smokers and stuff, there's more people who are smokers or have COPD and those type of problems, they're way more at risk.
Was John going to say something?
John, are you there still?
Oh yeah, I was just going to say I take about 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C every day. Haven't been sick in 25 years. Missing work. And the other thing is, it basically make sure you have lots of hot fluids, like hot tea, coffee, whatever you drink. But make sure it's hot and drink it regularly. The germs are in your mouth. So if you drink, it will wash those down into your stomach, and the stomach acids will kill it. If you leave it in your mouth all the time, it's very easy to get to the nasal passage. As you know, it's very well connected. If you've ever swallowed wrong and had liquid come out of your nose, that's how close it's linked. And it can once it gets to the nasal, it goes straight into your lungs, and that's where you have the problem. And lots of oranges are good. So if you're voting for Trump, vote for the Orange Man, and that will help cure some of this too.
Okay, don't scare the guest caller away.
We won't have problems with oranges because.
By the way, what's your name in Rochester?
My name is Tua. My name is Tua.
Oh yeah, there's two Democrats on the air. One bullheaded Republican, and I'm not sure what Singapore Mike is because he doesn't live in the U.S. right now.
I'm sorry.
Remember that.
But the COVID virus, it says right here, as John was explaining, the COVID-19 virus spreads primarily through droplets of saliva or discharge from the nose, when an infected person coughs or sneezes. So it's important that you practice respiratory etiquette by coughing into a flexed elbow.
So yeah, we
I
get
have no
infected by
medical
viruses
expertise at all.
We get infected by viruses every day. Every day. It's just how our immune system deals with it. That's the main thing that we should be concerned about. I think all of us, not how we're passing it, but how our body's dealing with how strong our bodies are. Just the regular flu vaccine, they're injecting the flu virus into us so that our body can adapt to that flu. And that's the same thing with this virus. We need to build our bodies internally strong so that whenever a flu comes in, we are prepared for it. And I would say do not eat the sugar in great amounts. I think that sugar is fat, basically. It will convert to fat.
So you sound like a younger person. Is this affecting you socially? Like, did you go out a lot with friends or out to eat a lot in the past? Like, how is it affecting you socially?
I'm a weird person. I only hang out for business purposes. I like to socialize with people. I just think the majority of people are stupid. So and do dumb things, especially the people in my age group. I just think they do dumb things, and I just don't want to be around that. So, but I can tell you, my friends right now are not hanging out as much, not as much as they normally do, like get drunk and all that. I don't think they are at all. I think everyone's basically in lockdown.
Yeah, in my neighborhood, I live along the shore of Lake Superior. People go on a lot of walks and stuff, but even when you're in public, people stay 6 feet apart. And if you're passing someone and you're walking with a friend, then someone walks behind the other person so the other person can pass 6 feet away.
Lake Superior, I'm sorry, where is that? Is that in New York?
I live on the tip of Lake Superior on the southwestern tip in Duluth, Minnesota. And it goes all the way around. It's a huge lake. It's the biggest Great Lake. It goes all the way through Ontario, Canada on the north side and southern Wisconsin into the upper peninsula of Michigan on the other side, on the bottom side.
So Jen, you can go to Canada and buy food and come back, right? If there's no food, because
it's an hour and a half drive. It's an hour and a half drive, Mike. All our stores are open, and nobody's behaving in Walmart. Like, a lot of people go there every single day. Like, there's hardly any restrictions up here. I mean, there is a governor's stay-at-home order, but people aren't really following it.
I'll tell you, every time I look at the news, it seems like they're saying people are fighting. They're making it seem like people are going to Walmart and shooting and killing each other for toilet paper, of all things. And then they're fighting. And I go to Walmart, and then everything's still stocked up. Everything's normal. I don't see anybody fighting. People, there's no long lines.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about shootings.
Yeah, but they make it.
There's only like one murder here a year in my town, but there was some gunfire in my neighborhood last night. But really, the city I live in, there's not that much type of violence. How about you, John? Have you seen anything in LA lately?
Well, the virus is infecting people's brains where they're panicking. And I'm speaking of the idea of the virus. They're freaking out. People, I had a gal, she was throwing rocks in the parking lot yesterday because she was freaking out in the store. And it's kind of interesting. About half the people kind of see the fake news side of it. And I don't mean to belittle a potential. It's this one thing about this, it's very super contagious once you get it. And by that I mean is a normal virus, it branches up like a tree, throws out a couple limbs, and it kind of spreads out. This thing, when it starts to branch out, it just goes 100-fold. It just goes zoom. It's super freaky. That's come. I think it's a little bit modified. I think it's because it doesn't normally jump from bats, the horseshoe bat, to humans. You have to tweak it a little. So it made the
then you're on the air.
So
Go ahead, John.
I don't
John's
want
on
to
the air, guys.
Because I could get it tomorrow and deep six it. But what I'm saying is the hype of this is making people go crazy. And to me, I think the biggest thing is we need to be brave. This is, you need to live life. And if this is our fate to die of this thing, then so be it. But I'm going to live life before. I'm not going to wear my chicken suit. I'm just sorry.
Well, you kind of don't have a choice. You're on the front line, but in Colorado, they're pulling people over for just driving down the street.
Yeah, but
and there's hardly any supplies in the stores up by the border of Wyoming.
Jane, he doesn't. He knows that he doesn't have to be on the front line. He could be at home with the rest of us, just chilling out, ready for his $1,000 check. So he's doing it out of the love of humanity, and you are too.
John, I only have one question. Am I in your life insurance?
No.
I don't even have
John, ask vice versa. Is she?
Wait,
are you in her life?
I only have
no. My son is.
But he has.
Can you guys say hi to Ben already?
No, not yet.
Hi, Ben.
Hello, Ben.
How are you doing in Washington State, where it's almost the epicenter up there?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm pissed off, but it's just weird that...
Are you laid off right now?
Yeah, as of Wednesday last week, they changed the governor tweaked the order that made residential construction non-essential. And then a few days ago, he tweaked the order again that allowed real estate agents to be able to show houses still. I'm like, are you retarded? Do you know how interconnected residential construction is with real estate? And how do you expect them to show houses that they can't sell, that they can't call somebody like me to get them to pass inspection for the safety of the buyer? These people that are running this state and most of the world right now just seem to be unprepared for something like this, and they're just signing legislation left and right that they don't even think through, and it's just a fast track to communism, and who knows if any of this stuff is ever going to be removed after the threat is gone.
That's fantastic.
Great.
I was just saying, Ben.
Because there has been comments on our show that this can permanently change things.
The privileged people should get out the way and let another culture come in and take charge.
Wait a minute, Mike.
The privilege should get out of the way.
Okay, John, I have a question for. How long will you be laid off, Ben?
I don't know. It's all arbitrary. It could change daily. It could change weekly.
This is Bill Gates' wet dream. He's having a hard-on about this because he's been wanting to do vaccines for everyone over the planet. This is what his whole foundation is about: vaccines and about depopulation and about making the test kits. He's financing the test kits. We're talking Gates, Buffett, the whole
Article 21.
The MIT, and I've been doing a little research on that, and I'll have some more information on that. But here's a big deal: is that so we're going to throw $3,000 per household or $1,200 per person. Now, if you're like working my kind of job or something similar, like you're working a $15 an hour type of job, hey, that's fine. You can barely float. But what about people who make real money? And people make $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month, or there's a couple, and together they make $100,000 a year or $150,000. Do you think that, and they can't work? Do you think that $1,200 a month is going to do them anything? I mean, that's just enough to maybe buy half of the groceries at Whole Foods.
It's not $1,200 a month.
Yeah.
$1,200
Especially $1,200 doesn't even cover my mortgage, especially with the late fee that there's going to be. I don't know. This is it's ridiculous. And especially what pisses me off the most is that people are not doing their research about what this virus